Homework 2.3, linear functions and slopes, video 7. Homework due on May 22nd at 11:59 p.m. All right, obviously I'm not showing you the board. I am showing you my laptop, and I've already logged into MyLabs and Mastering. Just a reminder to get there, get into Canvas, click on MyLabs and Mastering, and then click on this little orange button. I'm not going to because I already have. And then to access the homework, you just click Homework. Oh look, the average grade on the homework 1.5 is 99%. That's great. However, only 5 out of 8 of you have completed it. So get busy. Okay, anyway, let's click on homework. And again, when you click on homework, if you scroll, you're going to see the homework for the entire semester. It's already there. If you want to try to accelerate, that's fine. The first test will be available tomorrow, and you can tell which homework will be on which test based on the due dates. The first 4 homeworks to do at the same time, that's when your first test is due. I'll tell you right now, the second test covers quite a few sections. Covers 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, 2.6, 2.7, and 2.8. Right now we're in the middle of the 2.3. I'm about to make videos for 2.4. But all of those are due on May 22nd, and that's when your second test will be due. And so on and so forth. But let's go to, let's see, I'm currently doing videos for 2.3. And I want to show you how to sketch the graph or draw the graph on, in the homework. That was 14, 15, and 16. So let me go directly to one of those. 14. Let's go to number 14. Oh, I do want to point out that most, if not all, questions have a skill builder to help you build some of the skills necessary for some of these. I will warn you that sometimes they will show you things differently than the way that I do. But let's take a look at this particular example. Give the slope and y-intercept of the line with a given equation, then graph the linear equation. What is the slope? Well, it's in slope-intercept form, so the slope is the coefficient of the x. The slope is 2. So we'll check that. Thank you. And then what's the y-intercept? Now, the y-intercept is 8, but you can think of it as a number or as an ordered pair. So it's important in the homework to read what they want. Type an integer or a simplified fraction, but not an ordered pair. The y-intercept is 8. We'll check that. Everything's good. All right. So now we're over here, we're going to sketch this graph, and they want you to graph the equation. Now there's a couple of ways to get to the graph. One is to just click on it, or you can click to enlarge the graph. Either one will do. But whichever way you do it, I'm going to do it back inside of the question. When you click on a graph, there will be some buttons that you can choose from. To draw a certain shape, you have to click the graph with the correct shape. So you have to know in advance that it's a line. But it's a linear function, so it's going to be a line. And if you hover over it, it says Line Tool. Now, if you click any button for graphing purposes, somewhere it will tell you what it wants. If you're doing it within the problem, it will be right down here at the bottom. It says, click the graph to plot the first point on your line. All right, so here's where we have to remember what we know about slope-intercept form over here. Because the y-intercept is 8, that means that the graph will cross the y-axis at 8. And since it is currently waiting for me to click the graph to plot the first point on your line, I'm going to click on that. Now when I click that and move the mouse around, notice that every time I relocate the pointer, it is instantly drawing a line through the second point wherever it's located. So if you want to make yourself dizzy, do this for a while. Whee! Gravity, pendulum. Anyway, so now we got to find a second point. And that's where the slope comes into play. Now, this slope is 2, but we want to think of it as 2 over 1 because slope is rise over run. So I'm going to turn around back to the board for a second. There's the problem that was in the last video. And since we have y equals 2x plus 8, this 8 was the y-intercept, but we need to think of the slope as a fraction, as 2 over 1. So that means that we're going to rise 2 and run 1. But rise 2 and run 1 from where? From the y-intercept. So let's go back to the question, and I'll get a little bit closer now. All right, so we're currently here at the y-intercept. We want to rise 2 and run 1. Now, I may be able to use the keyboard. Let me try this. I'm hitting the up arrow. 1. Hey, that's nice. 2. And then to the right, 1. And maybe I can hit enter to place that point. It did, how nice. Now you can also, if you put it in the wrong place, you can click it again. Click and hold, I think, and re-drag it. I meant over there, no, I meant down here. No, I meant, well, let me see where I meant. Oh, look at that, I'm pressing the arrows and it's putting the point where I want it. So that's really easy then. It won't let me go back to the intercept, but I'm gonna delete this line and start over to show you that if you want to do it using only the keyboard. When I click the line tool, I'm currently pressing the arrows on the keyboard. So if I started the origin, the Y-intercept is at 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Press enter. And now to plot the second point, because that's what it's asking me to. Oh, I thought it already plotted the first point. It did. It should be saying click the graph to plot the second point, but oh well. So I clicked the Y-intercept and now I'm gonna rise 2 and run 1 and press enter, and there's my line. And now that I've got it, I can just check it. So let me zoom back out. Nice work, thank you. Let's go ahead and go to the next question and take a look at one more. I'd like to look at one that has a negative slope. This isn't it. I bet the next one is, because I know me. There it is. Wait a minute, is this not the exact same problem that we had done previously? Huh, that's okay. What's the slope? Negative 2/3. Negative. Now for a fraction, you can either click the fraction button here, or you see where it says slash right there. You can press that button on the keyboard. Or we can click that and go 2, and then press the down arrow to the 3, and press enter. Thank you. I think I can press enter again. Hooray. The Y-intercept is 4. Check answer, or press enter, either one. Nice work. But let's get to the drawing of the line. So if we were to, let's click to enlarge this time. If we click the line tool, it's gonna ask you right up here what it wants you to do. So click the graph to plot the first point on your line. Since the Y-intercept is 4, we would click here. And now it's saying click the graph to plot the second point on U. Plot the second point on U. This is where we do the rise and the run. And again, because the slope is negative 2/3, and I believe we have negative 2/3 up here already, we have to decide where to put the negative. I personally will always put the negative with the rise, but you can put it on the run as long as you interpret it correctly. So we're gonna rise negative 2 and run 3 from here, and I'm gonna use the keyboard. Rise negative 2 means down 2, so 1, 2, and then run 3. Now, I'm gonna go back to where I was, because had you put the negative on the denominator, pretend the negative is on the 3 and not the 2. We would rise 2 and run negative 3. Rise 2 means up 2, but to run negative means to go to the left. So run negative 3 means 1, 2, 3. And it gives us the exact same point, because had I gone down 2 and to the right 3, it would have put that point and drawn the same line. So now if you click the button to enlarge the graph, you do have to save it into the problem, which is why I actually like doing it in the problem, and then check the answer. So it's not difficult to do. It's not super, actually it is fairly intuitive, but I just wanted to demonstrate it for you. We'll talk about this next type in the next video.